So the rules for the Jake Paul vs Gervonta Davis fight just came out, and if it could not get any worse, this is coming from Timothy Shipman. This is the Florida Athletic Commission Executive Director, the people sanctioning the fight. He said, "You can't do a fight like that as a pro fight. It'll be an exhibition. I'm looking at the details right now. I'm sure there will be other stipulations." Now, obviously, this is understandable due to the weight disparity. One guy weighing at 135 in Tank, the other at 200 in Jake. You got lightweight versus heavyweight. And the Georgia's Athletic Entertainment Commission actually canceled this fight. It was supposed to happen in Atlanta. The commission opposed requests for the rule waivers related to the weight difference, leading the event promoter MVP to withdraw the application and move the fight to Miami, Florida. Georgia deemed it not a very safe fight. Timothy Shipman came out and said, according to Florida statutes, they will display skill, talking about Jake and Tank, they will display skill without necessarily striving to win, using strikes and blows to the head or other full contact maneuvers. They will be wearing larger gloves to prevent risk of injury. The people sanctioning it are saying Jake and Tank are going to display skill without necessarily striving to win. What the fuck does that mean? The rule waiver stipulates that both fighters will use 12-ounce gloves to provide added protection. So this isn't even confirmed yet. It could be 14 ounces. That's what Jake and Mike used in November, and somehow that was called a pro fight. Now, if you don't know, Tank being a lightweight, he fights in 8-ounce gloves. The limit, I think, stops at 154 at super welterweight. It goes on to be 10-ounce gloves from there to all the way to the heavyweight division. That is a big blow to Tank, because I've already given my thoughts on this fight. I think Jake's gonna win, and you know, considering how much they're able to try, I don't know how Tank's really gonna get the job done, because I would assume the only way he wins is by knockout. He could run all night, make for a boring show, it ends. There's no winner announced anyway, so he just gets his money and gets out of there. Just like he said, he's replied to people on Twitter saying that exactly, so great way to promote. And you know, for a second I almost bought into this, because Tank did put out a photo of him sparring with what looks to be a heavyweight, so it made me somewhat believe, okay, we'd be getting something out of this. Maybe he will go in to try and win. I don't know, for the unsanctioning body to come out and say they're going to be displaying skills but not try to hurt each other, I mean, you might as well just come out and say that it's scripted. And do I think that's the case? I'm not sure. And I mean, it would be a tragedy. Like, I would probably laugh, but it would be a tragedy if Tank got knocked out this fight. Like, there are two different ways of losing. You could either, one, lose by decision. Everyone would say it was a shame. Especially it being Jake Paul. Everyone thinks his fights are fixed anyway. So it's really a win-win for Tank. Lose-lose for Jake. Find a guy half his size. If he doesn't knock him out, it would honestly make him look worse. I thought that same thing when Logan couldn't beat Floyd. Like, this guy's 46 years old, you're in your prime around 27, 200 pounds, telling me you can't knock that old man out. I don't even care that it's Floyd Mayweather. If I'm that much bigger than him, I'm knocking him out. Logan's throwing jabs at him and missing intentionally. Those are the shittiest jabs I've ever seen. And he's investing into the body. It's like, dude, I'm swarming him with hooks. Like, I'm not giving him space to breathe. What's he gonna do? Clinch down? I'm 50 pounds heavier. I'm grand slamming him. Jake was 230 against Mike. Okay, he's not going to be 200 on fight night. He's going to be around 220. That's like an 80 to 90 pound weight difference, so I don't want to hear it. And before we end this, I want to mention how Shakur Stevenson, he moved up from featherweight. He is only at, I think, a couple fights at 135. Tank, he's lived at 135 for, I think, over 5 years now. Shakur Stevenson is about to move up to 140 and fight Teofimo Lopez, whilst Tank Davis is fighting Jake Paul at heavyweight after years of talking about Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney and all these guys rehydrating so much in weight to 150 to 160, using that as the excuse to not fight them because they rehydrate too much in weight. Well, Shakur's been there the whole time, calling Tank's name. Yet Tank chose to fight Lamont Roach, a featherweight, coming up to lightweight. Lamont was a massive underdog. No one expected him to perform in the way he did. And the whole build up to the Lamont Roach fight, what's he talking about? Oh, boxing's trash, I'm sick of it, I got 2 fights left in me, then I'm out. And what was the last fight? Jake Paul. They were in talks about, Jake Paul confirmed they were in talks with that fight even before he fought Lamont Roach. They were set to face off after that, but it was ruled a draw, so they pushed back. So he wasn't even going to consider a fight versus Shakur. It was just going to be Lamont Roach, Jake Paul, right off into the sunset. And I remember his first excuse, he was talking about how I guess he thinks that Shakur's the Saudis' pay-per-view star. He said the Saudis would rig it against him, that they'd let Shakur win so they could, I guess, put him on more events, and they would use that Tank win as a way to up Shakur's profile. If anything, they want Tank to win. I mean, think about it. If I'm Turkey, Tank's this massive pay-per-view star knockout artist. He's entertaining. People find him entertaining. I'm investing into him, not Shakur, who everyone shits on. They say they fall asleep while watching his fights. I'd present Tank with a multi-fight deal, which they have for many of their other fighters that they've signed over the past 2 years, and he'd make way more doing that than this Jake Paul fight, I'll tell you that much. It is what it is. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Again, let me know what you think in the comments below. We got the press conference later today. That's when this will be posted. I'm gonna be doing a live stream. We're gonna all watch it together, and yeah, I mean, we'll see what... Tank is horrible at shit talking. I don't see how he's gonna hold his own. I'm more interested in the face-off, how they're gonna look side by side. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace.